Welcome to GFQ, where everything I fix is gluten-free. My name is Travis, and today I'm making stuffed cranberry turkey tenderloins. I've got 4 turkey tenderloins that's been marinating for 24 hours. I'll put the brine that I use at the bottom of this video. I'm gonna cut a little slit in these, a little pocket, and I'm gonna stuff them with dried cranberries and Cabot's pepperjack cheese. I'm then going to cover them in Duke's mayo on top and bottom, and I'm going to season them with the Lane's Brisket rub. I'm going to take some butcher twine, I'm going to put it around the ends to keep the cheese and cranberries inside, and I'm going to be smoking them today on my gateway drum at about 300 degrees. It's going to take about 40 minutes. I'm going to flip those about midway through. So let's go ahead and get the loins prepped, and we'll get them out on the smoker. All right, so I've taken my turkey loins out of the brine. I went ahead and patted them dry, got them here, and I also went ahead and took my block of cheese and I sliced it up here. I've got some nice little thick slices, about the size of a piece of brisket there. And I went ahead and topped each 4 of the slices there with my cranberries. I'm actually gonna make a little sandwich. So I'm gonna take this loin, I'm gonna cut a slit there, a pocket, and I'm gonna put this piece here on top kind of like a sandwich there, and I'm gonna stuff it in there, and I'm gonna tie the twine around it to keep it from falling out during the smoke. So I'm gonna take this thickest part of my loin, and these are pretty thin, so I'm gonna have to be very gentle here. I got me a serrated knife. So I'm gonna be very gentle. I'm not gonna go to the end there. I'm just gonna go to the very middle, and I'm just making a little slit here. And I'm gonna use my fingers and carefully make a little pocket. Don't wanna go all the way to the ends. I'm just gonna make a little pocket here, just like that. Loosen that up so you can see here, I've got me almost like a pita pocket. I remember the days when I used to eat pita bread. Can't have it anymore. All right, so I'm gonna take these cranberries, try to keep them from falling out. I didn't do a very good job there. And I'm gonna stuff this in. I'm gonna make my slit just a little bit longer. Made my cheese a little too long. That's okay, we'll get it in there. I'm gonna take this and stuff her in there. You may have to adjust the size of your cheese. Maybe put a little bit too much cheese in there. That's all right, we'll take a little bit out. Just really want that to melt and form in with those cranberries. I'm just gonna gently, don't wanna rip the backside of my loin here. I'm just gonna gently push that down in there. Keeping my cranberries and my cheese, just kind of getting it mixed in there real good. Making sure it's all the way down in there. I'm gonna add some of these that fell off the backside there. We'll push those in there, just like that. Get a couple more in there. There we go. Starting to come together. Just keep packing it there, and then I'm gonna make sure that it's even, because when I cut into these, I don't want to have a big hunk of cheese and cranberry. The cheese is gonna kind of melt throughout, but I don't want to have that one huge hunk of cranberry bite and then another bite over here not have any. So I'm gonna kind of distribute that evenly, get that tucked in there, and I think this one here is about ready. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 3 just like so, and we'll be back to get the mayo and the seasoning, and we'll get them wrapped up, and when it's all said and done, it's gonna look something similar to this here. So I've got all of these stuffed now with my cheese and cranberry. Now, some of these were a lot more thin than they looked in the package, so I didn't want to overdo it. So I didn't end up using as much cheese as I thought I would on these 2 smaller ones here. These 2 here actually held up pretty good. So I think they're looking pretty good. So now we're going to go to our mayo binder. I'm just going to put a little mayo there on the top, and I'm going to work that on both sides. Carefully not to let my contents fall out there. Remember, I've got those stuffed. I haven't got those twined yet. So I'm just gonna carefully put a little here on the top. That looks like a lot, but remember, I want to do the back side as well. So I'm gonna get all of this, the sides, the back. I'm gonna get all of this coated here. go. Careful not to let your cheese and your cranberries come out there. We'll get a good little seasoning on there here in just a second with our Lane's brisket. I know it says brisket, but it's really good on turkey and chicken. It's good on anything. Lane's does a great job. They're a phenomenal company. Great products. And really care about the gluten-free community. So I've got some couple cranberries here trying to sneak out. We'll stuff those back in there. We'll twine them up. It'll be fine here in just a minute once we get them twined up, tied up with our twine. Let's get the rest of these rubbed in here. Not cooking if you're not using Duke's mayonnaise. Tell you what, that's tough. Some people use duck fat. Even when I do my chicken wings, I like to coat it with Duke's mayonnaise as my binder. It's really good on poultry, any kind of chicken or turkey. It really brings out the flavors. So, you know, duck fat, any kind of oils here. I prefer mayo for two reasons. One, the flavor, and two, it just cooks on really good. A great binder. All right, so it looks a little sloppy now, but I'm gonna get it cleaned up here and get her dusted. Get the other side there. There we go. All right, so I'm just gonna hit it with my Lane's. Not gonna be scared of it. Just gonna hit right across the top there. Cover the mayo. Don't want to be too thick. Just want to make a nice little bark. Here we go. And we'll hit all of these. I'm gonna flip it over and do the same. And then we'll get her tied up and get it out to the grill. All right, here's what we've got. We've got the twine on there. Got them closed up. I actually used three, one in the middle, two on each end, just to make sure that nothing falls out. See a little bit peeking out, but I think it'll be fine. I think once that cheese melts, it'll bind the cranberries inside the loin there. So we're gonna get them out to the smoker. I believe my drum's probably up to temp. We're gonna get these on and we'll be back. All right, our gateway drum is fired up and ready. It's a little over 300 degrees. I've got our turkey loins on a Kingsford grill topper just to help me transport it out to my grill. So I've got those on here. I'm just gonna leave it right on that grill topper. We're gonna close the hatch. I'm gonna come back in about probably 20 minutes just to give it a look, just to see how my bark is doing, and I'm probably gonna flip those at that point. So stay tuned. I'm at the 20-minute mark. This drum has held at 325 like a beaut. Let's give it a look here. Got a little bit of cheese running out on this guy here. That's okay. The bark's looking really good. I'm gonna give him a flip to this side. Go ahead and get all these flipped. I'm not gonna temp it right this minute. I'm probably gonna wait about 10 minutes. I'll come back out and run a thermometer in there. Really juicy, looking good. Oh yeah, got a little bit of crust action going right there. That is looking phenomenal. I'm gonna take some of these smaller ones and kind of put them kind of off center. My drum's hotter here in the center, so I'm gonna put these big thick guys right dead center and put these little smaller ones kind of off a little more off to the side there. I'm actually going to hit it with just a little bit more of my Lane's here in just a second when I temp. This guy lost a little bit there, the cheese juice, marinade kind of coming out. Just took a little bit of that bark off. I want that good bark. You can see that there. So we're going to get the hatch back down. I'm going to come back in 10 minutes, hit it with just a little bit of that Lane's brisket, and then we'll start temping in about 10 minutes, which will be my 30-minute mark. It's probably going to take it about 40 minutes or so right here at 325, maybe a little bit more. We'll be back. All right, it's been another 5 minutes. I went ahead and hit this little guy here with a little of my lanes. I'm gonna stand these on their side now. Just kind of stand them up after another 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to get these kind of up, these smaller ones up, just because they were so small, it's kind of hard to stuff a lot of that cheese and cranberry in the side, these smaller ones. So I don't want to lose any of my goodies. So I'm just going to stand them up. This big guy, he's holding up really good. I'm not worried about him. But I wanted to stand these up. If you can see that or not right there, it's kind of starting to kind of come out a little bit. That's all right. I used 3 rows of twine there to try to keep my contents in. We're looking really good though. It's put a thermometer in there. Is it about right at 140? I want to pull these off at just right at 160. Let it climb to 165. That was the big guy was at about 130-ish. These were looking just a little bit more, these smaller ones. So we'll let that hatch close, and we'll give it probably 10 or 15, and then we'll temp it once more. The little ones may be ready to pull before this big guy is, so we'll make that determination once we get that ThermoPro in there. We'll be back. We are at the 20-minute mark here, or 40-minute mark total. Oh my goodness, it's got some good crust action going there on the sides. Let's check the big one first. And it is at 161.1. So we're going to go ahead and take him off. Look at these little ones. They've been on their side. They've right at 160. And we're ready to take them off. We're ready to get them inside. Oh yeah, they're ready to rock and roll. Meet you inside. All right, now comes the fun part. You get to try out this beautiful meal here. So I've made up some garlic mashed potatoes, and I've also got a little dipping glaze that I'm going to dip my turkey tenderloin in. It is honey mustard and horseradish, 3-to-1 part. All right, let's dip it right in there. Man, good bark. The cheese in there really come through. The cheese along with the cranberries just gives an amazing flavor. And that lanes over the top. That is absolutely delicious together. Let's mix in a little bit of mashed potato there. What a beautiful combo. Man, holy cow. Really good stuff. And I like the honey mustard glaze that I've got going on here with the horseradish is really bringing the sweetness and that horseradish zing. Everything's just coming together just so nicely. What a great dish. Just kind of recap, I took these 4 turkey tenderloins and I brined them in a brine. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the video. It's a brine that I use for a lot of my turkeys. Whole turkeys, and I brined it overnight, and then patted it dry. I stuffed it with Cabot pepperjack cheese and some dried cranberries, and then I seasoned it up with I glazed it with I basted it with the Duke's mayonnaise, and then I come over the top with that Lane's brisket. I put it on the gateway drum at about 325, and it took 40 minutes. I flipped it halfway through. And man, the smoke, the flavor, the combo, I mean, this is one heck of a dish. What will I do next? I don't know. Hit that subscribe button so you can find out. Check us out next time. GFQ.